Hello people, today we are going to know about a new module and that is Marketplace RMA system for Magento 2. Now, this is an add-on for Webkul Magento 2 Marketplace. By the help of this particular add-on, the customer can generate RMA request and the seller or the admin can do the refund, or they can replace the item, or they can cancel the order. The admin can do the module configuration from the admin panel by setting number of days after which the customer can generate the RMA. He can enable the mail so that the RMA notification mail can go to the admin, and then he can also add RMA reason. Now coming to the installation of this module. Once you have downloaded the module from the store, you will be getting it in a zip format. You have to unzip it and then you will be getting the module folder. Click on the module folder, you will be getting the SRC folder. Click on the SRC folder, you will be getting the app folder. Just upload the app folder into your Magento 2 root directory and then you're done with the installation. For the proper installation guide, you can refer to the user guide also. Now let's come to the configuration of this module. Now this is my admin panel. So for the configuration of this module, just go to Store, Configuration, and then you will be getting the RMA system menu. So click on RMA system menu, and now you can see the setting. You can enable notification to the admin as yes or no. You can set default days after which the customer can request for RMA. I have set it at 0, and you can enter the email ID. After this, you just have to save the configuration. Now after saving the configuration, go to Marketplace Management and then you will be getting RMA reason. Just click here and you can see a new page. Now you can see the various reason, its status. So while generating any RMA, the customer have to select any one of this particular reason. So you can add a new reason by clicking on add new reason button. You have to enter your reason and then you can select the status as enabled or disabled. For example, I will write and I will enable it, and then I will save this particular reason. You can see the reason has been saved successfully and you can find that particular reason in the grid. So now let's see how the customer can generate RMA from the customer end. Now this is my customer panel. So let's go to the RMA. So this is the RMA menu which you will get in the customer panel. So click here. And then you have to click here. And then a new page will come. So from here you have to select the order. So I will select this one. I will select the quantity, and then you have to select the reason, and if you want you can write additional information as well. So now you can see the resolution type as cancel item only. So you will be getting the cancel items when the order has not been processed or shipped. Like when the invoice and the shipment has not been generated, then only the customer can cancel the order. So of course when the shipment has not been done, so the status will be not delivered only and the resolution type will be cancel item. So I'm submitting this particular request. So now you can see new RMA request has been generated. So this is the order ID, product, quantity, status, and if you will click here you can see the RMA request. So you can see the RMA status, seller status, and you can see the resolution type. So now let's move to the seller panel. So this is my seller panel. So just click on all RMA menu. Now this is my seller panel. You have to click on all RMA and then you will be getting the all RMA list. So this is the recent RMA generated by the customer. So I will click here on the view button and then you can see the RMA page opens. So now the resolution type is cancel item, so the seller can decline this RMA request or he can cancel item. So I will cancel item and you can save. And now you can see the RMA status is solved and the seller status is item cancelled. So you can even enter the message to the customer. And you can send the message as well. So now the message has been sent, you can see. Now let's move to the customer panel. So this is my customer panel. So I will just refresh this particular page. And now you can see the RMA status has been solved. The seller status is item cancelled, and you can see the message from the seller. The item is cancelled. And now the customer can close this RMA by checking on this particular checkbox and then saving it. And now you can see that the RMA is closed and the resolution type is cancel item. So this is the part about how you can cancel the item. Now let's move to the another section, that is how you can ask for the refund. So again I will go to this RMA menu and I will request a new RMA. So I will select and you have to select the RMA reason. And now as we are looking for refund, so the invoice as well as the shipment has been generated, so the order status will be delivered, and then you have to enter the consignment number. So after entering the consignment number, you can select the resolution type as refund or replace. I will ask for refund, and now I will click on submit request. Now you can see that the RMA request has been generated, and you can see the status as pending. And when you will click on view button, then you can see the RMA status as pending, seller status as pending, order status as delivered, and you have entered the consignment number, and the resolution type is refund. Now let's move to the seller panel. Now this is my seller panel. So you can see the RMA status as pending for this particular order 247. So I will click here and we will see what is the resolution type. So the resolution type is refund. So the seller can either decline or he can make full amount refund or partial amount. So if you want to decline, then you can just decline, or if you want to refund the amount, then you have to come down and then you have to select full payment or partial payment from this drop down. So I will select full payment and then I will click here so that I can refund the amount offline. So the refund is being generated. Now you can see that the RMA is solved, and now the seller can send message to the buyer. Now you can see the message refund done. Now let's move to the customer panel. Now this is my customer panel, so you can see RMA status as solved, seller status as solved, and then the resolution type was refund and which has been done, and you can see the message from the seller, refund done. So now you can close this RMA. So I will click here and I will click on save button, and now you can see that the RMA is closed and the refund has been done. Now let's move to the third section, and that is replace, how the customer can generate RMA for the item replace. So again I will move to the RMA menu. So now I will request a new RMA again. I will select the order ID and then I will select the quantity. Then I can select the reason. From here you can even upload the images also, so that your RMA looks more effective and the processing can be done at a faster rate. So now the order has been delivered, so I will enter the consignment number again, and now we will see the replace. So the resolution type is replace this time, so I will click on submit request button. And now you can see that the RMA has been generated. So this is the status, and when I will click on view button, then you can see the RMA status as pending, seller status as pending, and the resolution type is replaced. Now let's move to the seller panel. Now this is my seller panel, so you will see the status as pending. So I will click on view button, and then you can see the RMA status as pending, seller status as pending, and you can see the resolution type as replace. So the seller can directly decline the item, or the seller can set the status if he hasn't received the package from the customer end, so that he can generate the replacement. And when he has received the package, then he can set the status received package to notify the customer that he has received the package and he will replace it soon. And when the seller has dispatched the replaced item with the new one, then he can set this status. So I will set this status so that I can notify the customer that I have received the package from the customer. So I will just click on save button. Now you can see that the RMA status is received package, so I can even notify the customer through the message. Now you can see that the message has been sent. Now let's move to the customer panel. Now you can see that the message has been received from the seller that he has received the item. So the customer can wait for the next step to be taken by the seller. Now the seller can dispatch the package and he can click on save button. Now you can see that the status has been changed to dispatched package, and he can send a message also. Now you can see the status, RMA status as dispatched package, and the message received the item. Now let's move to the customer end. Now the customer can see the message, receive the item and dispatch the item, and when he has received the replaced good, then he can just click here and click on save button. Now you can see that the RMA is closed. Now let's move to the admin panel, and we can see how admin can see all the conversation between the seller and the buyer and what is the status of RMA. So this is the admin panel. So go to marketplace management and all RMA. And then you can see the order ID, customer name, reason, RMA status, order ID, and what is the seller status. So you can see not interested, it is not delivered. So you can click on view button to see this particular RMA. So you can see the RMA information that the RMA status has been solved, seller status is item cancelled, and the order status is not delivered. What was the resolution type? You can even check the conversation between the seller and the buyer, and you can check the product detail from here. So let's again move to the next RMA. So here you can see the RMA details, like RMA status is solved, seller status is processing, and then resolution type is replace. What is the conversation between the seller and the buyer? Seller dispatched the item, seller received the item, and this is the product detail. So this is the part about the admin part. Now let's move to the guest user generating RMA. Now for the guest user to generate the RMA, just scroll down and at the footer you will be getting the RMA return. Just click here and then you will be getting the guest login panel. Just enter the order ID and the email ID. Now you can see after login that request new RMA button is there. Just click here and then you can just request a new RMA. You have to select the order ID, you have to select the quantity, the price, then you can select the RMA reason, and as the order has not been processed, so the invoice and the shipment has not been generated, so the product status will be not delivered and the resolution type will be cancel items. And now you can see that the RMA has been generated, so you can click here to view the RMA. That is, the RMA status is pending, seller status is pending, resolution type is cancelled item. Now let's move to the seller panel. Now this is my seller panel and you can see the customer is guest, the order ID, the product, the status. So you can just view the RMA. You can see the status, RMA status, seller status, and the cancel item. So you can even decline or you can cancel the item and you can save here. Now you can see that the RMA status is solved, seller status is item cancelled, and the RMA status is solved. Now let's move to the customer end. So in the customer end also you can see that the RMA status is solved, seller status is item cancelled. So you can click here and close the RMA. And now you can see that the RMA has been solved. So click on this request new RMA, and then from this drop down you can select the order and then you can select the quantity. You can select the reason and then you can select the resolution type as refund or replace, and as the order status is delivered, so you will select delivered and then enter the consignment number. So after that you can either replace or refund, and then the process will be same as I have explained in the above, in the previous part. So this is all about this particular module. So if you have any doubt regarding this module, you can just raise a support ticket at support@webkul.com. Thank you.